Before we begin problem 32, I'm going to go ahead and have you change d to y equals 4. And while it's beneficial for you to know how to graph an x equals equation that's going to end up with a vertical line, I need you to utilize y equals 4 because the problem asks for us to find the area of the trapezoid. We talked about in class how we were going to have some geometric applications to this algebra. And this will be one example of a geometric application to the algebra that we're using in class. So problem A, let's start with being able to graph that. We've got a lot of different options at this point. We can write it in standard form and graph the intercepts, but I still tend to prefer putting it in slope-intercept form. So let me work off to the side here. 15 minus y equals 2x plus 5, where we will subtract 15 from both sides and end up with negative y equals 2x minus 10. And I'm going to divide by negative y, or another option is to multiply by negative 1. Either way, it's going to end up changing every sign. Y equals negative 2x plus 10. So we now know that our y-intercept is 10, and we have a slope of negative 2. It goes down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Now you certainly don't need this many dots, especially if you're going to use a ruler. But the advantage to giving yourself lots of dots is it gives you a path by which to line your ruler up on. And now we're going to graph our next equation. Our next equation is negative 7 thirds plus 4 twelfths y equals x. And so we'll add 7 thirds to both sides. And we end up with 4 twelfths y is equal to x plus 7 thirds, to which we're going to multiply by the reciprocal 12 over 4. Which is the same thing as multiplying by 3, so I'm going to go ahead and make myself easier over here. I'm just going to multiply by 3. That simplifies out and leaves me with y equals 3 times x, which is 3x, 3 times 7 thirds, which is 7. So we have a y-intercept of 7 and a positive 3 slope, which means I go up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Now the opposite of going up 3, forward 1 would be to go down 3, backwards 1, which helps us fill in some of our coordinates on this graph. Again, we'll line them up as best we can and connect the dots. Now for the equation y equals negative 2. Y equals negative 2 gives us a horizontal line with absolutely no slope. So we're looking for negative 2 to be there. And the last one that we changed, y equals 4. If I graph a line at y equals 4, that's going to come right through here. And our original problem asked for us to find the area of the trapezoid. Well, there's our trapezoid. And we're going to need to get our values from our coordinate plane. So I'm going to start with finding my base. That's 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. So this line is 4 units long. We come down here and that's 3 units. plus 6 units. This line down here is 9 units long. And remember that our formula for area of a trapezoid is area equals 1/2 times the height times base 1 plus base 2. Well, we know our two bases, 4 and 9, but we don't know the height. The height is this perpendicular distance that connects the two bases. So we have 2 units get us up to the origin, 4 units then get us to the top of our trapezoid. It's a total of 6 units. So we can start filling in our information. Area equals 1/2 times 6 times 9 plus 4. 1/2 of 6 equals 3. 9 plus 4 is 13. So 3 times 13 ends up giving us an area of 39 units squared. So we've applied a little bit of geometry to our algebra. Number 33, which equation has positive intercept? A positive x-intercept. We only have one equation that intercepts our x-axis, and that was the one with negative slope. So I'm going to look up my equations. Which one had negative slope? That was A here. The problem doesn't ask us what form to state our equation in. But I like y-intercept form, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Y equals negative 2x plus 10. Which equation has the highest y-intercept? We'll have a y-intercept at negative 2, a y-intercept at 4, a y-intercept at 7, and a y-intercept at 10. Again, it's that line with negative slope, so it's going to be the exact same one. Y equals negative 2x plus 10. And that completes the Unit 8 study guide. Aside from you writing 3 problems that could be used on this study guide in the future, please have one easy, one moderate, one advanced. Yes, you should solve each of the 3. This is to start helping you prepare for 8th grade, where you will be expected to be able to create your own study guides. It's just a good strategy to also have as you enter into high school.